In this video, I want to talk to you about some of the tactics that you can use in a negotiation to help you move the negotiation into the zone of potential agreement. That is, if you're not familiar with the zone of potential agreement, it is the area that is capable of arriving at a negotiated agreement with the other party. The best way to explain it is I have my reservation point, the point at which I will walk away from the negotiation. And that may be I need more value but than that point in order for me to accept the other person's position in the negotiation, or I require offering less value, whichever that is. And the other party will have a reservation point as well, at which they require more value or are only going to offer that amount or less, right? And the distance between there is known as your zone of potential agreement, because anywhere within that range, you have the ability to arrive at an agreement with the other party. That is, they will not walk away as long as you are within that range, right? Now, within that range, parties still seek to grab value, right? So one party may grab all of the value, which means they reach an agreement with the other party very close to the other party's reservation point, their walk-away point. So they got more value than their reservation point, and the other party got very little value or no value more than their reservation point. So between the zone of potential agreement, one party grabbed more of that value, okay? But it's often the case that the parties do not have a zone of potential agreement. That is, the lowest that one party is willing to take or the highest that they're willing to give does not intersect with the lowest that another party is going to give or the highest they're going to give, depending on what side of the negotiation they're on. There is no point of agreement. Best example would be, I will only pay $5 for this. You will not accept less than $7 for this. We have no zone of potential agreement. If I were willing to pay up to $7, right, and you were willing to take as little as $5, we have a zone of potential agreement of $2 between I'm willing to pay more than $5, so up, and you are willing to accept anything more than $5, right? So there's a zone of potential agreement. I'm not willing to pay more than $7, so our zone is set by my reservation point and your reservation point, the $5 and the $7, okay? So what happens when you don't have or you are stuck? You have a zone of potential agreement, so you have the ability to arrive at a negotiated agreement, but it is very difficult for you to get the other party to move. You believe that the negotiation is going to stall or fail because you're not able to bring the other side within the zone of potential agreement. Okay, that's what we're talking about now. Now, we've talked about a negotiation strategy. A strategy is made up of your orientation, that is your disposition towards the negotiation, how you're going to act, whether you're competing, yielding, accommodating, that type of thing. And your objectives, the things you hope to achieve that generally affect the other person or the context of the negotiation, right? They move you towards your overall goal or the outcome you desire in the negotiation. But it could be things like adding pressure to the other side, making them feel rushed or hurried, convincing them, right? Creating an open line of communication. All of these are objectives, and you use tactics to do that, right? I use the example over and over in these videos. If I want you to feel like we're short on time, I may tell you I have to go in 5 minutes, right? And look at my watch. Doing that signals to you. It is a tactic signaling to you that we are short of time, okay? Make you feel rushed. So my tactic achieves the objectives. So what tactics are available, right? What things can I do to help move a negotiation that is stalled into an existing zone of potential agreement, right? Because you don't want the negotiation to fail when there is potential for a negotiated agreement, right? In that case, all parties lose. So with that being said, first example is provide alternatives, okay? Usually, a stalled negotiation in that way is based upon one party's focus on a single interest or just, pursuing a bulwark tactic of I'm not moving on this, right? But if you combine interests together, right, bundle them as a package so you don't focus on interest individually, that oftentimes can break that cycle, and the party is willing to move past that blockade that they've thrown up. Okay. Another one is simply confidence, demonstrating that in the negotiation, and the best way is to simply, throughout the entire negotiation, assume that there will be a negotiated deal. Express that to the other party. Well, we have to get to a deal. We're going to get to a deal. We're not leaving the table. We're going to get to a deal. We're going to work through this, right? Demonstrating the confidence that there will be a negotiated agreement. You're assuming the close, okay? Oftentimes, once again, you run into the issue. It's a single interest at stake. It's a distributive negotiation that's finite interest, right? A fixed asset that you can't create more of. There's no way to bundle in other interest or package interest together. There's no way to split up attributes of that interest. So oftentimes, you'll simply split the difference with the other party to try to bring them into the zone of potential agreement. Now I'll say this, splitting the difference is usually not the best tactic in terms of grabbing value for yourself. Okay, but it may be necessary to move both parties into the zone of potential agreement, particularly when there's a very narrow zone. Okay, exploding offers, right? That is a very competitive tactic, right? It says, I can do this right now, but if not accepted right now, or we don't do this now, then it's gone. I'm not even going to entertain this anymore, right? That type of thing. Salesmen use this as a sales tactic all the time. And it's made to make somebody who's emotionally caught up, they're thinking through things, they take a long time to make a decision. It creates an emotional aspect there where the party might be, okay, I'll do it. I don't want to miss this opportunity, right? So the exploding offer, right? Take it now or leave it. Okay, and then sweeteners. Sweeteners are things you throw in to say, well, if you do this now, I'll give you this too, and this, right? Lots of times you see this on infomercials where it says, buy now and get a second one free, and free shipping, or whatever they do in that way. If you buy now, that type of thing. So they're using, an exploding offer plus a sweetener together to really create an emotional reaction to make you go for it. Same way works in a negotiation where you're haggling back and forth and you throw out, well, what if I give you this in addition to it? It looks like you're going to close the deal. Well, just to speed things along so there's no more thought, okay, what if I give you this as well, right? That type of thing. These are common tactics that are known for assisting with bringing the parties into the potential zone of agreement. They can be used outside of that scenario in other scenarios, but they're normally not the most appropriate in situations where you are trying to grab more value, right? That type of thing. Bundling packaging, that is certainly a tactic that you'll use in integrative negotiations to lift all parties, right? Exploding offers are very competitive type offers that can certainly be used in certain situations. Sweeteners as well, type scenarios. Split the difference. There are rare occasions when you want to use that. But anyway, that being said, just keep these in mind as examples. You can probably think of some yourself that could be useful in unhinging a party so that you can bring them into the zone of potential agreement.